Welcome to another episode of Unprepared. Today, I wanted to talk about the recent cyclone. It was something which was completely unexpected. We all were thinking that it's gonna be just a passing, kind of a thing which wouldn't affect as much as it did, but it has. So I thought, why can't we share my experience of the OG flood which happened in 2015-16? I don't remember the year, but we were in KK Nagar, and in that house we had water inside the house during the floods, and many things were lost during that time. So I just wanted to share the pictures I took during the floods. That's all we are going to see in this. So why am I sharing this? Because there are moments in life where you come across things or you have to face things which you are not prepared for, but it happens. That's what life is all about. But how do you react to it and how do you get through it is all that matters. Yes, financial stability during times when you actually need to get back to your normalcy is definitely needed, but so the mental drain which happens when you're going through this is also something. It sticks to you, it just doesn't go away. The thought is to share my experiences, what happened during that time and what we did, how we managed somehow, is what we are going to see. So let's get into it. So first picture you see here is a tree fell on a car because of the rains, and the roots of the tree just couldn't hold on to the ground, and fortunately nobody got injured. This was the first rain. As you can see, already the road is starting to fill up. This is the initial stage of the rain, and as soon as that happened, we had to clear this off. The best part about this, nobody got hurt because it's a huge tree. As you can see, it's like got a huge branch and it also took a pole along with it. So this happened on the 1st of December, and you can see the hit on the car was, the impact was just, oh my god. And this is the first picture of water entering our home. You can see the water is at this level, and you can see my legs covered up in the plastic cover so that it doesn't get wet, but even then you get the moisture inside the cover, and your feet does get soaked up a bit after some time. So other than rubber boots, if you have at your home, this doesn't work well. But at that time we just had to do something, so we just did this. And you can see all the things kept on the sofa so that it doesn't get wet. I mean, this was the initial phase of the water coming in, and the power cut happened because, I mean, the area we lived in, there was an extraordinary designer who thought it was the best option to place the transformer at ground level. So, whenever someone even takes a piss nearby, the first thing they would do is cut the power off. So that was the kind of beautiful, well constructed area, well, uh, planned area we were living in. But this was the initial time where the water started coming in. The next photo, you will see the water level rising up. Now you are seeing this. It was at the bottom level in the beginning. Now it has reached that side tile, whatever you call that. So yeah, it was around the ankle area, the first rain, and it was new to all of us. We just didn't know how to react to it, but we also kind of knew it could happen because you just literally saw the water level rising up on the streets. So even though mentally you prepare yourself to such things, you are mentally not prepared for such things to happen as well. It's a weird combination to have because you know it can happen, but you also feel like, is it really happening? So that's the kind of mindset we were in. And yeah, we just had to make sure that things didn't get ruined, at least in this rain, because at that time we felt like, okay, this is one off thing, maybe some drainage issue or something where the water just did not pass, but we were so wrong. So yeah, you can see that the level of water has increased in this as well. This is the bedroom area, and it got into the TV cabin as well. And this is the other part, and this area, this is the PC area. We had a computer there, and on the side of the computer we kept two chairs. On the chairs we kept two bean bags we had at the time, and on that we kept our jhula. And then we set up in a way that we can keep things on top. That's what the thought was, because neither we were going to sit anywhere or sleep anywhere or do anything of that sort. We just were waiting for things to get cleared up at that time. Yeah, this is how it was. You can see the computer table here. So yeah, the computer table, you can see clearly it has already risen, and this is a kind of computer table which is so annoying, because this has that hay kind of thing. So whenever it gets rinsed in water for long, it soaks up and it bulges double or triple its size. So yeah, sometimes it just feels so unreal that even after facing and going through all of it, you feel like, did it really happen? Did we actually go through it? That is the kind of feeling I'm feeling right now, at least. So yeah, you can see the level more than before. It has rained a bit more now. So you can see here the water has really started coming in, and yeah, current was not there. So motor and all those things were gone. But fortunately, we were all together as a family, and we just were able to hold ourselves to get through it. The mindset was, what is happening? Is it really happening? But even then, we somehow managed to get through all of this. And then the first time this happened and water cleared off, the whole house was so bad that we had to scrub and clean for it to get back to normal. So it did take time, but we were able to manage the first time. This is the puja room. Not a sight you would want to experience in a lifetime, but it's also a special experience where not everybody gets to experience it. It's not like you can pay ticket and experience flood at your home kind of a thing. It's not a thing. It happens, because I think uh, unfortunately people have been fortunate to experience this with the consistent flood which has been happening in Chennai. Not a good thing, but it's there. Yeah, and we had to keep everything over this card, because we had to keep it at a higher level, and this was the only way we could do that. And you can see the outside of the house, and this is my mother standing so cool, because she is a cool person. And as you can see, she is not like anxious or anything, because we are like chill with it. I don't know why we are weird that way, where something completely new happens, we are like, yeah, we will experience it and we'll get over it. But it was not that easy, even though we might feel like it's okay, it happened, because you have to accept the reality. But it's also a thing where you have to process things and also be okay to hold yourself emotionally. And when you process the emotions, you have to take the time to grieve it and vent it over as well, because the things you will see later, those things are hard to see when you have lived in a home where everything is like ruined. So yeah, a beautiful dog swimming, so we had to take a picture of it. and this is the place, this is the road. So as I would like to call these kind of moments unintentional Venice is what I would like to name it, because after the recent flood in Chennai, after the cyclone happened, people have started talking whether it is actually good to have a boat at home. How crazy does that sound? Like, instead of making changes to the city's plan and getting at a higher level, or making some uh, pathway for water to clear easily, we are talking about owning a boat where we have sea after a certain amount of travel. So it's just weird to even think, but we are thinking that. And this is the beautiful design I was talking about, the transformer being at ground level. So every time something small happens, because even if it's like a public washroom where four people take piss at the same time, this road will fill up. It was that bad. I think it is still that bad. I don't think it has changed. So yeah. So yeah, this is just a weird experience, and this was the first rain which flooded the roads and our homes to a certain level, because this was not the bigger one. Now what happened after this was, my father was at work. He called us up and said, hey, look, it seems like this time is going to be a bigger one, so I don't think it's safe being at home. So what I want you guys to do is pack everything, keep whatever you can above a certain level so that it doesn't get wet. And we thought, yeah, we will keep it above the table and everything, so we will be okay. But we are so wrong, because we didn't expect that to happen. After this, we kept everything wherever we could. Like, TVs were kept above the bureau, all the other things which can be kept on the table or on the chair, like you saw before, those things were done. So you would have seen a sofa in the house, right? I kept the console I had at the time, PS3, on that sofa. For some reason, while we have packed, and the water was filling up, and we knew that it was going to come inside our home, and maybe this is not the time to uh, you know stay at home and just leave to my aunt's place, because she was living at a higher apartment, so it was safer there. So we had taken all the decision, we did everything we should have in that situation, and we took whatever we had to, main things. And then while leaving, I thought of, why am I leaving it here on the sofa? Maybe I can create some room in the loft and just dump it there and leave. It was last second thought, and I just took my console, just dumped it in the inside the loft, and we left, because we didn't know what was gonna come. But what came was around 6 feet of water inside our home, and that totally ruined everything at our home. This is the backside, the service area, as you would say it. This is where the washing machine and everything we used to have, and yeah, everything was soaked inside water for 3 long days. But we were chilling at our aunt's place, because we didn't have any issues, no food issue, current issue, nothing. But our home was soaking up, and the worst part about this is that the drainage system, the septic tank and everything, was right behind this area. So this area, whatever you see, is soaked up. It is soaked up in that water. So not a good sight at all. Not a smell you want to hold in your memory, because I'm a person whose senses are very active and heightened, that I can store memories of smell which I smelt long back. And this was a smell which I cannot forget throughout my lifetime. Anytime, anywhere, I even smell similar kind of smell anywhere, I will immediately remember of all these things like a full movie, because my memory with the senses is so strong. Not a good thing, but it is what it is, and we had to go through it. And you can see everything is soaked up, and you can see the yeah, it was this thick, the amount of muck that's formed in the service area. And the next to the service area, if you come inside, was the kitchen area. So every drainage water soaked up the kitchen area for 3 days. So this is the thing I wanted to show you. Not a smell you want to ever smell in your lifetime, guys. Yeah. So through this was the other bedroom where you saw the cot, right? That cot was through this window. This window you see here. Ah, yeah. So this entrance is the kitchen area. As soon as you come in, this is the kitchen area. So everything you see from here is all kitchen. So grinder, mixie, all the vessels, everything got soaked up in this water for 3 long days. So coming back to normalcy was the struggle you had to go through, because when it happens, you are like, okay, it happened. What can you do? The post event, trauma you have in your mind after you see all these things, I think that remains with you for quite some time. Because for us, it took a long time to get back to this home. We had it cleaned, we had scrubbed off every damn thing, we threw whatever we wanted to. It was like freebie, we just threw everything we could away. We just did not think about whether you should keep this or not. If it was just soaked up in something, just throw it, don't even think about it, because it was matter of health, and it was matter of memory and everything. So it's just not a normal vessel or normal item. These are things which you have gathered across your life, you know different phases of your life. So some things always represent something. So plastic bottles and plastic dabbas and all, you can just throw it away, because those things are, you buy a set, you throw a set, it's fine. But if you had to throw things which matters to you, that feels very bad. But at that time, we just had to give. It was like, give it all away, don't think about it. So that is what we did. And yeah, see this vessel stand, and this is how it looked outside our home, because everything was thrown away completely. We didn't think of anything. We didn't, you know, we didn't want anything to remind us of it. So yeah, this is how it looked. Every bed, everything. The worst thing was the rice which we kept in a drum, that was soaked in that drainage water for so many days. And when we opened it, oh my god, the smell. Oh, because it had those worms and everything coming out. It was probably the worst smell you could ever think of. And then the beds, they were like out of the place to where we kept, and it just didn't make sense, because everything was floating around and everything was everywhere. So the bed was so much soaked that we couldn't even drag it. It was that bad. So yeah, I mean, like, but it happened. So this is how it looked outside our home. And one thing I would like to say, after looking at these bags of clothes, shout out to Big Laundry. At the time, I think it's Big Laundry only. who actually, I know many people came forward to uh, help each other out, and Big Laundry did an initiative where they did laundry for all the flood affected stuff for free. So we packed every damn thing of ours, apart from the clothes we took to our aunt's home. That was the only thing we had with ourselves which we could wear and reuse it again and again. Other than that, whatever was at our home, every damn cloth was given to Big Laundry for cleaning. And they did an extraordinary job at the time, because it took us around 3 months. I don't remember, 3 months or 4 months or something, to for those things to come back, because their load was so much. But they did it, guys. Those kind of efforts, I think those kind of efforts were the one which actually made it possible for us to get over things and get back to normalcy. But it's always a thing of, when you go through it, it's an experience. After you go through it, it's kind of a trauma which sticks on to you, because neither you can forget it, but if something happens in the future, you are immediately in a cautious mode, because as soon as rain starts to come in the next time after this happened, every damn time you felt like, oh my god, this is it, oh my god, this is it, because after experiencing such a thing, it's just hard to get back to normal as if it's okay, it's fine kind of a state. We are at a better stage right now because we are not living there. But if you had to live there, and say if it's your own home, and you are living there, it's gonna be tough, because every time rain comes, you kind of know that water is very likely to come in, because nothing has changed much. So I think even in this flood, these houses got affected, I think. So yeah, that's the state of mind you have to be in, and it is not good at all for a person to go through. And this is how the home look outside. And the thing is, we cleaned our home with, you know professional cleaners, because it was a huge task. Every wall, everything was smelling so badly that so much water was used, so much soap, so much scrubbing, everything was done because you had to do it. Otherwise, it was not possible at all to live here. And thankfully, we were able to. My father was able to afford all these things, so we were able to get through it. But what about people who would struggle to get back on feet? What about the people who will struggle to purchase another cot, another bed for themselves? What about them? So those are the people you feel like this is not a good thing, or this is never a thing that should ever happen to anybody. But I don't know, like even now I feel like these things might happen again, and we will again talk about it for some time and get over it, because as long as it doesn't affect us, we are like, ha, chalega, it's not a big deal. People will get over it. But people who actually have to go through it but are not able to get back to normalcy, that is, those are the people who will be affected in the worst possible way, and we will not even think about it much. But there are people who are genuinely trying to help, and kudos to them for doing it, because somewhere humanity is failing, somewhere people are trying to hold on to that humanitarian acts as well. So should we call it a balancing act? I don't know, but it is what it is. That's how it is. We talk about it, we try to do something about it at that time, and when everything gets back to normal, we all start doing our own thing. And when it happens again, that is the time we come back to, oh my god, why is this not done, why is that not done, why is the drainage so, why is this like that like that. We keep saying that, but for a short period of time, because we have a beautifully short term memory, where our mind works like a flash news. It's a flash news for some period of time, and after that it's just another file in your memory. That's all. It's forgotten. Yeah, this is what our home looked after cleaning. And this is the level of water that was there at our home. You can see this mark. I think you'll see this mark better in the hall. uh, yeah, this is how it looked. This is the bedroom area. So what we did was, every bureau except the Godrej bureau, I will show it in that in a bit, these bureaus were all, scraped off and repainted, and everything was done to make it new, because the smell just didn't leave these bureau at all. Even the home, regardless of how much soap or naphthalene ball or whatever you put it, it was stronger than that because it was soaked up. So this is the Godrej bureau I spoke about. The thing is, Godrej bureau, they said it was hard to repaint it. I don't know what's the reason. Maybe the painting technology or whatever is different for Godrej bureaus. I don't really know. But the worst part, this is the bureau I used to have my clothes in, and these bottom two shelves were my shelf where I kept my pants and shirts and t-shirts and what all, so everything got soaked up so badly that the one big issue in this was, if one of your clothes leaves color, bottom clothes absorbs the colors, and 3-4 clothes after that get ruined. That is how many of my shirts and t-shirts got ruined. Had to throw it, like I didn't want to even see. Just throw it off. It's okay, fine. I was in that kind of a mindset. And another bureau, where I had kept all my certificates and everything, completely soaked up, because it was higher, like it was 3 shelves above. And I was like seriously, kind of a mindset, because you don't think of water coming at that level inside your home, right? So we were like, okay, this is at this height, but you know what, the water is around this height, this shelf height. So all these 3 shelves were all soaked up maximum. This shelf and the locker to a certain extent got saved. That's all. But yeah, one thing I would like to say is, we have this bureau even now. My parents are in Kumbakonam, and even now I can smell that flood smell in this bureau. Even now, to this date, even after what, 8 years or something. Yeah, yeah. This is the another bureau where um, we repainted it, and everything was done, and this is back to normalcy, I would like to call it. But everything does remind you of those times for sure. This is the hall area. I would like to show you the water level. This is the water level. You see the line here beautifully. This is the height. So why am I saying 6 feet? I didn't measure it and all. I am 5'7", okay? I'm 5'7", 5'8", in between that. So if I stand, it's slightly above me. That was the height. So I felt 6 feet. So around, if you go to the road level, it will be 1 or 2 feet below. So around 8 feet of water on the road, around 6 feet of water inside our home. We just went to our grandma's home after cleaning everything, doing everything, because no bed, no pillows, nothing, everything was gone, right? So we had to live somewhere else to get back here. But this place itself was so bad for our mental space that we just didn't want to live here. So we lived there in our grandma's place for 3 months. And this is the puja area, as you can see, nice and clear now. But yeah, this is the other window where drainage water came in beautifully. Um, so yeah, this was the shelf where every books were just dumped on, the shelf you see above. That is the reason it got, it couldn't hold on to the weight, because we thought books had to be at a higher level, because even if it's moisture, the book can get ruined. So because of which we kept there, but completely gone. The worst part was the fridge, because usually what happens, water hits and the fridge will fall like that. But here what happened, the water came in so force through that window that the water hit it this way and the fridge fell like that from front. Like someone hits you from front and you spin off and fall like that, right? It was like that. So weird to see, because the first time we came back to our home and saw the fridge, we were like, how the heck did this even happen? So the bedroom, yeah, everything survived. As you can see, it feels like you have come to a new home, because no products, no stuff are there, and this is the kitchen area, and you had to scrub it off so many times to get it cleared, and this is how it looked even after clearing for so many damn times. You can see how it looked. And also guys, the fridge, LG fridge survived. Grinder butterfly survived. So shout out to the companies for making a product which can survive even after 3 days of soaking in the water. Beautiful. We know that possibility of a fridge to survive is there, because inside there is moisture, so water retention, all those things will be there. So it might be designed to not get repaired when some water leakage happens. That is kind of a thought which comes to fridge. So you feel like even if it happens, yeah, it can survive, kind of a thing. But with grinder you don't expect that, but it survived. Even now my mother uses this grinder, the same grinder, butterfly grinder. Awesome. So yeah, this is how it looked. And the the car we had at the time, Alto 800, one like my favorite car, because this is the car which I mainly drove for around 10,000 12,000 kilometers or something. So many memories with it. It was like over 2 feet above the car, I think, on the road. So completely gone. One thing I would like to say for people who go through such flood related car issues, whenever your car has drenched or has submerged inside water because of floods or something, don't touch the car at all. Don't try to clean, start, or do anything, because to claim insurance it is important that you don't try to do something with the car and make it work. Don't do anything. Let the insurance people come, so that you can get maximum insurance claim for it. If you can give your car away and get the maximum claim, just do that. Let them look at the car this way itself, so that they know it is flood affected. So it becomes easy on them, it becomes easy on us. It might be really hard, because I loved this car and I really wanted to clean and stuff. But the logical thought which came to us was, let it be that way, because it is flood. And if they had to come and see, because they appointed officers from north for them to come here and then check the cars, to sign and give the claim. This is the way they had to see the car, because if they see it this way, they have no other thoughts to even ask, what happened, how it happened, nothing like that. You just leave it this way and they will do whatever is required. Yeah, this is how it looked from the sides. And the thing is, you see the small opening here, we didn't keep it open this way, but the water flow was so hard that the water found its way outside and the windows slightly opened up on both sides, the front sides only. Maybe because the water came from the backside and just had to flow inside. I don't know what happened. And the stepney which was locked in the backside of the car came to the front. So everything soaked up, everything done business. Yeah. So yeah, I think I have shared all the photos I had. The thing is, I wanted to share this experience because we get past things very easily when you don't have to face it. It doesn't feel like a burden. And you should you feel that burden or not, I don't know. And the one thing I would like to say with regards to this experience is, it's an experience, it's a memory that just doesn't go away from you, because as soon as something happened or something happens similar to this, your brain is now trained for handling such a situation, which is an advantage because you don't panic. You have already faced this situation. So it's an experience in that aspect, but it's also a thing which is very hard to be okay with when it happens again. But also, I think over a period of time, your mind also comes to a level where you are all right with it. You don't panic too much. You don't get anxious. So yeah, this was an experience I wanted to share with you guys. The thought is, things can happen in your life. Weird things can happen in your life. It's always about how you react and respond to it, and how you handle the situations, which actually structures the way you feel emotionally about certain situations. Emotionally, it might take a longer time to get through all the emotions you have to go through, but after a period of time, after you give it some good amount of time to, let everything settle down in your mind, you do get better. You do get to a better stage where you feel like it's all right. You need not panic every time. It's okay that it happened. It was not a good thing, but you had the courage. You went through it, and you were able to get over it after a certain period of time. So it is very important that we understand that we have the strength to survive situation which mentally might feel impossible, but when it happens, you accept that reality. So that acceptance plays a very important role, and being with the reality is also very important, that things have happened. It was not a good thing, it was not a good experience, but it happened, and you have to accept it, so that your mind is not going into a stage where it is trying to construct something new to not be in touch with the reality. So when that, you know difference happens, I think that's where the issues also starts to pop up. So stay strong, have people to get you through a difficult stage in your lives, share it with people, go for therapy if needed. These things can be traumatic for many, in many different ways. Try to get help in some way, because financially also many people might need some help. So those things are also there, but mentally it is very important that you get the help to get over these kind of traumatic events, because these are traumatic. You just can't see your home getting soaked up in water, and everything gets ruined in a day, and you just cannot be like, okay, I'm chill with it. You can't be that way. So take the time. You can do this. Thank you for. I'll see you in the next one.